In 2001, national-level NASCAR racing returned to Nashville when the 1 1/3 mile Nashville Superspeedway opened and played host to the Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series for the first time. Over its first decade, the track became a staple of the schedule for both series, expanding each to 2 events, while also adding IndyCar racing for the first 8 years of its existence. However, without a NASCAR Cup Series date on its calendar, 2011 proved to be the track's final season, and it would shut down after choosing not to seek NASCAR sanction for 2012. My, how times have changed. June of 2020, NASCAR awarded Nashville Superspeedway a Cup Series date, effectively bringing the track back to life. For the first time, it hosted all 3 NASCAR National Series in June of 21. Tonight, it's the Spark Truck Series Honky Tonk 120, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nashville Superspeedway on the iRacing service. Tonight's Spark Truck Series event, 90 laps the race distance, 69-degree ambient temperature. Rather humid here tonight, 94% humidity. Clear skies, though. A 10-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature nice and cool at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Taking a look at some more details this evening, drivers have 2 sets of tires available over the wall, plus the set that they start the race on, and a 70% fuel load to work with. Again, 90 laps the race distance, 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish if so needed. Fast repairs set at 0 this evening, so drivers going to be working without that safety net that they so enjoy in many cases, but not in this series. Make a mistake, you're going to pay. Best time so far in the session, Chase Berry quickest, 29.717. Johnny Rapp, 29.72. 7.23, that is. Wilson, a 7.29. Smith, a 7.39. Gio, a 7.65. Very, very close times here at the top of the leaderboard. And just a couple of minutes left in this session before we call it quits and jump right into the qualifying session. With all that said, we want to make note here again, the Goon Squad Fans Choice Award is up, is live. The link is available in the description for tonight's broadcast. So go ahead and click that link in the description, fill out the information, pick your driver that you'd like to see win this award. There is a specific award for this at season's end. So it's not just for fun. It is fun, but the drivers will get a little something out of it too. So make sure you take care of that this evening. Taking a look on the schedule here for the rest of the season. We're already 3 races in here once we complete this evening. Next week, though, really excited about that one. Watkins Glen International. That'll be on August the 14th for 29 laps. Then we have the off week, the week of the 21st. Then 8/28 Chicagoland Speedway. Really excited to go back there. Wish we saw that in the real-life schedule, but we'll have to deal with it here in the iRacing service for now. Then the week of the 4th of September, we're off to Bristol. Then the week of the 11th of September, we are off one more time as this broadcaster will not be available, and it's a good week to take off anyway. Dover Motor Speedway on the 18th, September 25th, Talladega, October 2nd, Auto Club Speedway, and to round out the season on the 9th of October at Homestead Miami Speedway. Less than a minute left in this session before we see the black and red flags on practice. We'll go right into qualifying, followed by a 5-minute warm-up session, which gets some commercials out of the way for that. No big deal. Qualifying is a short 5-minute session or 2 laps, whichever comes first for these drivers. Got some stream chatters already. We got Shane Kocher, Johnny Rapp. Thanks for checking in, saying hello, guys. Sure if it's Johnny Rapp or John Rapp. It says John Rapp. I don't know if they're one and the same or if Johnny's actually a junior. Either way, you're welcome. So practice in the books. We're going to get right into qualifying. We'll see who takes to the track first. Looks like Jake Honky may be the first to roll here. He sits at the end of pit lane. He's at least in the car. Nobody else. Well, there's a couple of guys in there. Honky's not rolling just yet. Looks like Patrick Colby's the first one to actually turn a wheel. Colby way up the racetrack off 2. Shane Kocher says, who made that Honky Tonk logo? I'm not actually sure who made it, but it is a nice logo. I'll give him credit for that for sure. Might have been Johnny Rapp, but don't quote me on that. I think that's where it came from. And John Rapp confirms it. Yes, John Rapp is Johnny's dad. So what's going on, John? Thanks for clearing that up for us. First lap for Colby, a 30.4. Meanwhile, the 16... Brandon Ayers fastest, 28.870. Colby pins it down to the bottom of the racetrack, shorten up that lap best you can. He's scrubbing some speed there. Hopefully it didn't hurt him too bad. Picks it up, though, 29.762, outside front row for the time being. Meanwhile, Chase Berry, he goes P1 with a lap of 29.69. Brian Brobst, number 11 machine. .030 for Brobst first lap. 12th, now 13th quick as others out on the track. Again, those of you that are new to the iRacing service and how this works, all the drivers make their Q run at the same time. Granted, they don't display on the track at the same time. They effectively get the same single truck session for themselves to turn those 2 laps, but they don't have to deal with the traffic that would otherwise be out there in a group session. But we don't sit here for 45 minutes trying to actually get a qualifying session in the books the old-fashioned way. 30.018 for Brobst, 15th quick. Johnny Rapp in the number 52 Mission Barbecue Chevrolet. Off turn 4, going to finish his second lap. Meanwhile, Barry still fastest with a 6.97. Rapp pretty close. Second row, third quick, 29.735. Clay Sampson, number 87 entry. Hunter Gio, second quick right now, 29.724. Clay Sampson finishes up 30.277, 27th quick on the board. Just over a minute left in the session before we call it. Charles Wimbley at 29.95, his first lap, crosses for his lap 2, 29.848, 17th fast. Nick Lucci, the number 96. Getting an update here as well. The number 67 machine is actually Jared Saroff tonight, filling in for Nick Saroff, who is out for having another baby. Congratulations, Nick. I got 3 myself, which is why I broadcast. Kids aren't cheap. Lucci with 31.052, his first lap. Likely just a throwaway lap here. Get the tire pressures up. Lap 2, cross the line. Let's see what he does. And he goes top of the board. 29.613 for Nick Lucci. Reminiscent of last week, a late effort in qualifying puts it on pole. 15 seconds left in the session. That's going to do it. So with that, we'll step aside here. They're going to finish the qualifying session up as it does come to a close. We'll get into the warm-up here. We're going to take a break, though. We'll be back with our starting grid after this. Stay with us.
Can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Back in Nashville Super Speedway, qualifying in the books, warm-up in the books. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 29.613 for the second week in a row, it's Nick Lucci. Outside front row from Payday Racing, missed it by 0.08 plus of a second, Chase Berry. Starting in the second row, it's Chris Smith and Hunter Gio. Row 3, Johnny Rapp and Scott Tompkins. Row number 4, it's Rye Jones and Patrick Colby in the 9. Row number 5, Brandon Ayers and Matt Kerkhoff. Starting in the 11th spot, Wes Pistol. 12th goes to Devin Jack. 13th starter, it's Justin Wilson, the number 58, also from Payday Racing. Steve Loving, the number 27, will start 14th. Dylan LeBeau, race 1's winner, number 99 out of Florida, starts 15th. 16th starter, it's William Cameron in the 4. The 5 of Robert Brobst will start 17th. 18th goes to Charles Wimbley. 19th is James Danforth. Peter Stewart starts 20th. 21st starter is Robert Lydell III. Brian Brobst in the 11 will start 22nd. 23rd, Jake Mockey. 24th starter is going to be Ellis Thomas. 25th, Shane Trotter. 26th, Chris French. Dave Grajewski in the 6th will start 27th. 28th goes to Nathan Gentry. 29th starter, it's Clay Sampson. Shane Kocher will start 30th. 31st, Larry Poling. Jay Heisman, 32nd. Abram Ghostin will start 33rd. Jared Saroff filling in for brother Nick, the 34th starter. 35th goes to Paul Thomas. And last but not least, it's the 60 of Steve Best. It's your starting grid from Nashville Super Speedway as we get ready to go green flag racing in just a moment. Once again, Nick Lucci and Chase Berry going to lead the field to green. Pace car makes the hard left turn down pit road. Barney with the flag in hand. Field just approaching the start zone. Green flag called for. We're racing from Nashville. Lucci out to the jump down into turn number 1. Second already up for grabs. The 46 is loose. 46 and Chase Berry in trouble. Caution out already. Big trouble now out of turn number 2. Collects a couple other trucks. Still guys scattering, trying not to make contact on this very first lap. Don't forget, no fast repairs in this series. A nightmare start for the 46 of Chase Berry. Cold tires, folks. Gets you every time. We'll explain more of that in a moment. Well, let's go back here. Let's just watch this directly from the start. Get a better view of it. We'll go full speed from the blimp. Watch the 46 on the outside. Doesn't get a great start. Obviously, got to let the 96 get to the line first, but I think he was a little bit late getting to the throttle. This was down into 1. Don't think there was contact. Yeah, he just got loose. Middle of the corner, trying to get back to the gas. He had it saved, but then he overcorrects, and the 49 comes barreling in. Didn't take long. Did not expect that. Last couple of weeks, we've been really clean as far as the racing is concerned, and I wouldn't even say that wasn't clean. It was just a... I think cold tires, low air pressure type situation. And again, to expand on that low air pressure and why that would affect the race truck for those that may not necessarily get it. Well, when the tires have a certain air pressure, let's just call it 15 pounds, or just being arbitrary here, it has a certain diameter, okay? So if it's a certain diameter, that factors into the ride height, the rear ride height of the particular truck. As that pressure builds and increases, well, the circumference of that tire grows. It gets bigger, effectively it gets taller, so that's going to push the ride height of the rear of the truck up, which is going to provide a little bit more downforce. Early on, you're running on very low pressures because they're expecting those pressures to rise throughout the course of the race. You kind of have to tiptoe around for a lap or two until you get some heat into those tires. Few drivers that appear to have been involved in that some way, shape, or form. Of course, Chase Berry, the first to kick it off. Let's see, the 49 of Devin Jack that got into Berry, then James Danforth, Shane Trotter, both being collected in that some form or fashion. Again, we'll take a second look at the race schedule, the season schedule for the Spark Truck Series. We're going to take a right turn next week, going to Watkins Glen International. Going to be a bit of a sprint race at 29 laps. Be a fun one to watch. We'll see who's got the talent to trail break, turn right, turn left, and the above. Then Chicagoland, Bristol, Dover, Talladega, Super Speedway, Auto Club, and then Homestead. Going to be a fun one. Also, keep in mind, once again, the Fans' Choice Award presented by Goon Squad. The link for that is in the description of tonight's broadcast, so go ahead and click that if you're on your computer, not on your TV. You can pick your favorite driver. At the end of the season, there will be awards for who wins that prestigious Fans' Choice Award. So 3 laps complete. About to finish up lap 4 here under caution. I expect we'll see the lights go out on the iRacing pace car, the Mustang at the front of the field. Should get the 1-to-go signal, which we'll see the 22 machine, I believe. We'll get the wave around here. That's Abram Ghostin. There it goes. We get set to go here to be Lucci, Smith, Gio, Rapp, Tompkins, Jones, Ayers, Colby, Karakoff, Pistol. Your top 10 in various order there as they get doubled up. Also, while we have the moment, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and click the thumbs up on tonight's broadcast channel. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and turn on those notifications just in case you intended to watch tonight's race and you forgot. You'll get that little reminder on your phone or whatever device you choose to view tonight's broadcast on. So it'll be Lucci and Smith now to the restart. Field out of 4. Pace car heads down pit lane. And into the Geico restart zone in just a moment. There it is.
Green flag.
About midway through the zone, Lucci fires, and caught sleeping is the 28 of Chris Smith. Hunter Gio, he's on the gas awful quick. Clears Smith, gets in behind Lucci as they barrel down into turns 1 and 2. Car length and a half, maybe 2 back to Gio. Gio now right to the back bumper of Nick Lucci as they get off turn number 4. First lap completed in anger under the green flag. Lucci leads it. Gio right there, ready to pounce. Gio looking to the inside down the backstretch. Going to make a move for the race lead here into turn number 3. And quickly he takes it. Gio doesn't put up too much of a fight. Sorry, Lucci doesn't put up too much of a fight. Gio takes the top spot. Top 5, all single file order. We go back to the 6th position. Looks like more of the same. The 91 of Rye Jones, Pat Colby, Brandon Ayers, Justin Wilson, Matt Karakoff. Karakoff in the 00. Getting some fresh air on the nose of his machine. Thinking about taking a look to the inside of Justin Wilson, but he's got the 7 West Pistol wanting to crack the top 10 as well. Change for position just up ahead. Patrick Colby trying to go around the outside of the 91 of Rye Jones. He gets there, has the run down the back straightaway. Colby using that high side for some momentum. It does so to his advantage, puts that Ford F-150 out in front of the 91. Colby now up to the 6th position. Things stay the same out in front. Hunter Gio still with the race lead. Lucci runs 2nd. Scott Tompkins up into the 3rd. Chris Smith has slipped a bit to P4, and Johnny Rapp rounding out the top 5, right where he qualified. Rapp seems like a calculating driver. We haven't seen a lot of him early on just yet, but he doesn't want to push the issue too much. Take care of the truck, keep it underneath you, take care of the tires, keep the fenders caving in. Can't win the race early on. He can certainly throw it away, as we've seen some already do that. Keep an eye on Johnny Rapp before this one's over. Now the 99 of Dylan LeBeau running in 15th. Dylan took the checkered flag to start the season. Peter Stewart in a battle here with the 11 of Brian Probst. Probst gets clear, move him up to the 18th position. Take a look at Shane Kocher here, that number 32 Jenny Creamale machine. Looks like a Creamale machine. He's up 8 positions from the drop of the green flag. Started in the 30th starting place, in the 22nd spot right now, all by himself at the moment. He's going to try and reel these guys in. We'll keep an eye on this number 32 machine as the race goes on. One car in the wall just a bit. Looks like the 2 of Nathan Gentry. Gentry with the, looks like the Busch Light peach colors, or is that the camo colors? I think it's the camo. We're already getting into fall here. Safety orange on the camo on the bottom. Talking to big movers here, Clay Sampson up 12 spots in that number 87. Oh, up the racetrack though. Broadcaster's curse. He pancakes the wall there on the exit of turn 4. I don't think he ever lifted, though. Just took some paint off the right side, but he's under fire from the 94 of Peter Stewart. Things a little chaotic here mid-pack. Oh, one slides up, the 11 of Probst. Gets into Dylan LeBeau just a bit. They both walk away from it. No incident to speak of, no caution to worry about. Still, we watch this fight continue on. Dylan LeBeau in the 16th position, and Probst wants more. Now a battle between the 3 of Charles Wembley, the 8 of Ellis Thomas. This would be now for the 14th position. Thomas had a line on the inside, just didn't have enough momentum to get alongside. Peter Stewart alongside the 87 of Clay Sampson once again. Remember, Sampson got a piece of the wall just a few laps ago. May have hurt the aerodynamics on that car just a bit, on that truck for that matter. Talk a little bit more about that aerodynamic deficiency after pancaking the right side of the truck, is you lose what's called side force. Effectively, side force is you get into the corner there, and the truck itself, it hangs the right rear into the wind just a bit. You're almost, I wouldn't say you're quite drifting, but you're not perfectly straight. The rear end of the car is hung in the wind just a little bit. The air pushes on the right side of the car and helps prevent it from coming all the way around. The problem is when you pancake the wall and you make the right side nice and flat, you lose a lot of that. You got to get the truck hung out more in the wind to get it back, so it can be challenging. Being a fixed setup race, it's very hard to make adjustments, at least as far as the truck is concerned, to fix that feeling. You got to kind of find a way to drive it on your own the way that it is, that or just fix the damage. But again, no fast repairs, and he's going to have to spend a little bit of time each pit stop. These races are pretty much sprint races, so there's not a ton of time to be spending it on pit road. We got that S4 guy in the chat once again. 26 watching and only 4 likes. Sheesh. Makes a good point. Click the like button, guys. Help us out. It's free to do that. Helps us and it helps the league. It's a bonus all the way around. Still watching this battle here now for the 18th spot between Sampson and Stewart. Stewart not giving up. Truck length off the tailgate of the 87. Drives it in deep. Sampson slides up the racetrack, opens the door, but he's going to carry the momentum. Stewart might have it, though. He gets a little loose there. Gets the left sides below the yellow line and onto the flat of the racetrack. Did a good job hanging on to it, but he completes the pass into one. Another battle for position, the 3 of Wembley, challenging William Cameron in the 4. It's for position 13. Hunter Gio still leads over Nick Lucci. About a 10.5 the advantage. It's been pretty consistent at that amount since that pass for the race lead was completed. Wembley tried to change lanes here to go to the high side to try and get that spot, and he's got the momentum. He's there to the right side of the 4. Off turn number 2, they're side by side. They're going to drag race it down the backstretch into turn number 3. See if Wembley can carry more momentum out of turn 4 and get clear. But no, the 4 drives it way deep into the corner, gets up a nose in front, but he has to back off. Starts losing the nose of the truck. Tucks back in behind Wembley. Loses the spot. So move the 3 up into the 13th position. Dylan LeBeau now trying to march forward still in the 15th position, where he qualified. Alongside the 8 of Ellis Thomas down the back once again. Thomas just hanging on the right rear of LeBeau. Doesn't want to yield the position. Checking on the race leaders once again. Hunter Gio still out in front. Has yet to yield that top spot after taking it away from Nick Lucci, but Nick's tucked right in behind. Sucking up that dirty air, but not giving an inch to the 33. If Gio makes even the slightest of mistakes, Lucci's going to be there. Let's go on board with the number 96 of Nick Lucci, pole sitter last week and this week. Runner-up finisher last week. He'd certainly like to improve by 1 here at Nashville. Gio still with the race lead. Just got to wonder if he's out there just trying to set pace over the 96 of Nick Lucci right now, because Lucci is right there. Not giving up any real distance off the back bumper of the 33, but he's also not really throwing down much of a challenge. Again, you can't win these things this early on. Granted, we do run these as a bit of a sprint at 90 laps. Just running there in the tire tracks of the 33. Might be saving a little bit of fuel not being out front. I know they call Nashville a super speedway. It's not quite to the tune of Daytona or Talladega. But riding in the draft of the 33 is definitely saving a little bit of fuel. Now the battle for the third spot between Scott Tompkins and Chris Smith. Johnny Rapp still rounding out the top 5. No pressure in front or behind for the 52. Brandon Ayers in the number 16 machine running in the 10th spot. Dylan LeBeau still marching his way forward. He's up a couple of positions, trying to take yet one more away. This looks like it'd be from Matt Kerkhoff in the 00. Matt still hanging on the right rear of the number 99. And LeBeau gets clear to move the 99 up into the 13th position. Clay Sampson in the 87, now in a battle with Robert Lydell the third. Awfully close to each other just a moment ago. Thought there was going to be contact. It was very close. Listening carefully here to the 87's throttle inputs. Very ginger on throttle on corner exit. I don't think he's even wide open down the backstretch right now. These guys all might be in fuel save. Sampson, while trying to be ginger on throttle, still trying to fight and hold off the 80. Lydell thought he had enough room to do the slide job. Wasn't quite clear. Has to stay down low. Meanwhile, Hunter Gio starting to stretch his legs a bit here. Quarter second plus the advantage over Nick Lucci, our pole sitter. Got Tom Janikowski saying hello in the chat. What's going on, Tom? Long time. Haven't heard from you. Abram Ghostin running 24th. We just heard him cutting the car off. Let's ride on board with him for a minute and listen if he's doing the lift and coast to try and save some fuel himself. So we're still about 5 laps shy of halfway. There it is, lift and coast, off throttle, clutch in, letting it idle through the corner, just carrying that momentum through, not dumping as much fuel as you would normally on throttle. If you do that for a while, it's worth a lot, at least a handful of laps if you're good at it. See the RPM drop down to about 1100 there. Some pit stops starting here. Robert Brobst in the pits. So is Larry Poling, Jared Serif, James Danforth. Brobst on the way down. Finishes up his pit work. 15.1 seconds to stop. Not too shabby. 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel. The question is, how long will some of these drivers try and stretch it? Granted, they may still have more pit work to do here. We're 43 laps in. Obviously, once we complete lap 45, that puts us past halfway. But you got to keep in mind, we did have a yellow that had come out on that first lap. So the drivers were able to save a pretty significant amount of fuel because of that. If we go green all the way to the end of this thing, they're still going to need to make a splash and go at least. Because Hunter Gio is going to hit pit road. Almost gets runs over by Lucci there. Gets her woe down to pit road speed. Hunter Gio from the race lead. That is a good looking paint scheme. Reminds me of the Superflow Days of Thunder colors almost. Right side tire change. Is it going to go 2? 4 tires. Gio drops the jack. He's down and away. 14.7 seconds. A great pit stop. Chris Smith, Justin Wilson, Rye Jones, Brian Brobst, William Cameron, all on pit lane. Smith with the American Battlefield Trust colors on his Silverado. Down and away, 14.93. Good stop for Chris Smith as well. Now Nick Lucci from the race lead. He hits pit road, our pole sitter. Matt Kerkhoff's going to inherit the top spot. Now again, from here, they're likely going to need to make one more stop if we don't get another caution. 4 tires and fuel for Lucci as well. Drop the jack, 14.72. Another lightning quick pit stop for the 96 as he takes out the pace car. Matt Kerkhoff, also now from the lead, hits pit lane. I got to imagine it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for just about everybody on this cycle. That last pit stop that's going to be questionable. Will it be no tires, 2 tires? Can't see the guys taking 4 unless they've got enough of a lead and an anticipation that everybody else is going to do the same. You don't want to give up all that track position if you don't have to. Especially knowing you're not going to need quite that much fuel to make it to the end on that final stop. Jack is down, Kerkhoff is away. Fastest stop so far, 14.58 for the 00. And Vincent Short jumping in the chat. Howdy, Vince. We got Mizzou also says, always the bestest paints. I think Mizzou, I think it's a she. I can't tell from the picture, but it's really, really tiny from here. But oh, we got trouble. The 18 gets the fence on the back straightaway. Caution comes out. Shane Trotter in trouble. Nose significantly damaged on that machine. Second caution of the night. This is just what some of the drivers were hoping for. Trying to make it all the way to the end, and now this is going to make it awfully close. If these guys can just start saving right now, save, save, save is what these crew chiefs and spotters are screaming to their drivers. Luckily, we didn't have this happen a couple laps ago. We would have trapped a lot of trucks a lap down. Some still get stuck with this, but nevertheless, Shane Trotter able to drive it back to pit lane. Let's get a look at this here and see what happened. catching the end of it here. He makes some pretty significant impact. First glance, it looks like he was loose coming out of the pits possibly and then overcorrected. We're going to just try to look at this again. Maybe I can just rewind it. Yeah, we're going to have to rewind it. So we'll watch here from the blimp. And this is the exit of turn number 2. We're watching the white and black Rowdy Energy truck. Looks like it's just getting loose on exit. You see him lift off the throttle there. Backfire coming out the pipe on the right side of the truck. But the overcorrection as he gets to the bottom of the racetrack, and then it's real hard to save it going back the other way. Big impact to the wall. That's all she wrote. In front of traffic, so there's where the caution comes out. So trouble for Shane Trotter out of turn number 2. Puts us under our second caution of the afternoon. Hunter Gio actually cycles back to the race lead. Nick Lucci back to second. Usual suspects prior to the pit stops in the top 10, it appears. Johnny Rapp, though, mired back in the 9th spot. I believe he was P5 prior to his pit stops. I don't know if he had an extended stay or if he was just slow getting in, slow getting out, but he lost about 4 spots in that exchange. .49 machine's going to come to pit road here. That's a tough break for Chase Berry, too. Remember, he started outside front row and had his problems in turns 1 and 2 at the very beginning. First lap, first corner. Lost the truck and around it went. Gets collected from others. Likely to finish today in the 36th position unless he can get back out there and try to surpass some of these other drivers that had their own issues. But what looked promising, no more. Caution coming out just about at the end of the pit cycle, which is going to set us up here, if we don't get a caution at the very end, for an interesting finish as far as fuel is concerned. We had that first caution to start the race, which, as we mentioned before, slowed the field down to pace speed, which allows everybody to take care of some fuel savings at that point. We saw some drivers unable to make it to halfway before making their pit stop. Now, maybe they could have on fuel, maybe they couldn't, and it was just a strategy play to come sooner than that, knowing that they were going to have to stop if it went green, which this series very often does go green most of the way, if not all the way. But some drivers made it to halfway. So you factor in this caution, if it's the only one, you might see some guys gamble here. Puts everybody in a position where they might have enough to make it to the very, very end, but say we get a green-white checkered finish. Now you got guys that might have to be forced to pit and get some fuel. Or you might have a scenario where the white flag comes out and the leaders start running out. Guys up at front, they're running faster, which means they're burning more fuel. They're also breaking that air in front of everybody, so that's requiring a little more fuel to be burned to keep that truck at speed compared to the rest of the field that's in traffic and in the draft. Now, if the caution were to come back out, that's going to throw all that out the window, but one can hope. Pace car is in. We wait for Barney to wave the green once again. Field off at turn number 4.
Be ready, green flag.
And green flag waves. Back to start finish. Gio leads it. Lucci runs second. Chris Smith third. Tompkins and Wilson fourth and fifth. Brandon Ayers in the 16, under pressure now from the 3 of Charles Wimbley. Rye Jones, the number 91, tucked in behind both those drivers. Ayers tries to go up through the middle. That was a brazen move. Didn't want to run over the 8, but didn't want to lift either, and gets 2 for 1 in the tri-oval. What a move by the 16. Brazen for sure. Aggressive, yes. Kamikaze? Not quite. Oh, and the caution's out.
Throughout the course of that last run, did you see any rubber laying down
Devin
at
Jack
all?
Clay Sampson. Turn 2, bites him again. Bunch of guys involved in this one. Debris all over the place. Let's try and get a look what happened. Yellow flag out once again, third time of the day. Oh, Kerkhoff gets loose, and then the 87 just gets in the back of him and finishes him off. 4 to 6 trucks involved in this. Cream ale can got creamed. Let's back it up a little further here. Watch the 00 here. I think he gets too close to the, I think it's the 50 truck ahead of him. The black and blue and white 00 into 1. I don't know if the 50 had a handling problem or just didn't get the corner the way he needed. But yeah, you see Kerkhoff really trying his best to stay off the back bumper of that Haviland truck. Unfortunately, everybody behind him didn't get that message. A 6-truck incident puts us under our third caution of the night. Six trucks, maybe it's 8 trucks. A couple more get involved in this late. So we're behind the pace car once again here, lap 57. Which goes to show how tough this place really is. Again, these guys very talented. First couple races this season, even at Daytona, where you're just asking for a wreck. I don't think we had really anything major until the last lap coming to the checkered flag. Last week was very clean. I mean, frankly, even this week hasn't been terrible. It's only our third yellow. A lot of clean racing. But as we talked prior to the green flag, after our second yellow, is this third caution here is kind of throwing all the fuel strategies out the window. I think this is going to allow everybody in contention here to make it to the end. Do have a handful of drivers coming down pit road, though. Peter Stewart just finishing up a stop. Chris French is in. Steve Vest. Steve Vest, the truck that was in front of this incident, Matt Kerkhoff was trying to avoid contact with. Might have just bumped him a hair, but again, everybody else behind him didn't get that message, and it was just a chain reaction incident after that. So as we get ready to go back to the green here, Hunter Gio still your leader. Nick Lucci second. Chris Smith third. Scott Tompkins fourth. Justin Wilson runs fifth. Brandon Ayers sixth. Wimbley seventh. Rye Jones eighth. Ninth Ellis Thomas. Johnny Rapp 10th. So we're on the 1 to go. We'll get the green flag here with 31 to go, lap 60. Got Dan Copeland in the chat. Cheering on Wes Pistol and the number 7 machine. Wes running 17th. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
And green. Gio goes a little bit later in the zone this time, but he still gets the jump on Lucci. Oh, a little bit of door banging there off turn number 2. Johnny Rapp gets shuffled down to the inside for a moment. Gets back in line. No major incident to speak of. Looks like we're getting ready to have one here if we're not careful, though. Brandon Ayers in the 16. We saw some aggression from him prior to this third caution.
Caution's out.
And caution's out again.
Pull your stuff. Pull your head.
Drivers in pit lane here. Don't know if they beat that caution coming out. Still don't know exactly who was involved in this one. Might have been Jared Saraf. Let's see what we can come up with here. Indeed it was. And there's the 60 in the distance. That's Steve Vest. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. We're just going to rewind this. Oh, we had a bunch of guys with problems. This is on the backstretch, too. Bounced off one into the other, and then there you have it. Somebody must have dropped their beer. Well, this puts us on yet our 4th caution of the night. With that, we're actually going to take a quick break here. We haven't done our side-by-side, so we're going to take a regular break, and that'll be it until the end of this one here. So stand by. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Nashville Super Speedway for the Honky Tonk 120 Spark Truck Series. Race number 3 on the season. 65 laps complete on the 1 to go. We'll get the restart here the next time by in about half a lap. Hunter Gio, Nick Lucci still at the front of the field. Nick Saroff giving us an update on the incident. Says Jared said his spotter never called car high. Never knew he was there. Pace car pulls down pit road as we get ready for yet another restart. Hunter Gio holds him down. Nice and slow into the restart zone. Hammers it this time a little sooner than last. Once again, gets the jump. Gio with the race lead, but Nick Lucci, it's time to go. Less than a tenth of a second, well, a little over a tenth of a second, but right there to the tailgate of the 33 into turn 3. When will he make the move here? Is it time, or do you wait till later on? Sometimes guys decide it's better to go with the fresher tires to make that move, or do you wait till you wear out the guy in front of you? We'll see how it plays out here. 23 laps to go. Hunter Gio out in front still. Started outside of row 2. Very quickly took over the race lead from Nick Lucci. Lucci still stalking the 33. Gio tucks out of line for a moment, maybe to break the draft. Lucci with a big run into 3, though, gets to the outside. Unable to complete the pass, Gio maintains the top spot. 22 laps remain. Fuel no longer an issue for any of these drivers, especially with these couple of cautions that have come out recently. Everyone's going to be full 100% attack mode right now. If they've got anything for the truck in front of them, they're going to push the issue now. Mostly single file all the way back to about 15th. Dylan LeBeau takes a peek to the inside, tucks back in behind the 27 of Steve Loving. Trying once again, noses to the inside, not enough to get alongside. The 27 slams the door. Down the backstretch, LeBeau looks a bit faster right now than the 27. Robert Ropes running in the 10th spot, the 5 in the frame. Johnny Rapp up into the 9th spot, in behind Brandon Ayers. Rapp looking awful racy behind the 16. Now the 9 steps out. Patrick Colby, he's going to try and take that spot from the 5. 5 maybe didn't know he was there, started to turn down. They avoid contact. Colby takes the spot. Looks like Ropes is going to lose a few positions out of this. Slips back to P13, loses 3 spots. This shows you how important momentum is at a lot of these racetracks with these trucks that punch such a big hole in the air. In behind him, Brian Ropes, the 14th spot to the inside of the 7 of West Pistol. This for the 15th position. 14th position. Pistol takes it. Battle continues. Dylan LeBeau now with Robert Probst. LeBeau has it. Running 12th. Once again, a battle for position. The 25 of Scott Tompkins battling with Chris Smith. Smith on the bottom, the red, white, and blues Chevy Silverado, and the red and white number 25 up top. That's Tompkins. He takes the 5th spot. Now challenging the 3 of Wembley. Oh, Wembley goes around.
Tell us what you got when you get a chance.
Straightens it back out, avoids contact, but the yellow comes out anyway. Oh, we're going to look at it once again here from the blimp. I think Tompkins thought that the 3 was going to go a little lower on the line and was going to scoot by on the outside, catches the right rear of the 3, gets him crossed up completely sideways, but Wembley straightens it back out, doesn't hit the wall, doesn't collect anybody else. All things considered, a great save. And some pit stops going to take place here. Some guys are going to opt for tires. That's going to be my guess. Fuel certainly not an issue at this point. A couple guys going to gamble and stay out. Ellis Thomas is one of them. Matt Kerkhoff appears to be staying out as well. But everybody else going to come down and get some fresh Goodyear rubber. Hunter Gio. Oh, he has to back it up in the box. Slight mistake for Hunter Gio. We've seen this before. Gio goes with 2 tires only. Nick Lucci does the same. He wins the race off pit road. Now, Scott Tompkins in that 25 machine, I'm not sure how the admins handle in-race issues as far as spins and crashes are concerned. I know if it was a short track, he'd probably go to the rear here. But Tompkins took 4 tires. So did Justin Wilson in the 58 machine. Chris Smith took 4. Bry Jones took 4. So did Brandon Ayers, Johnny Rapp, Wembley. William Cameron, not sure. He spent 26 seconds in the pit, so it could have been for damage or tires or both. It's going to be interesting how this plays out. There's a lot of guys at the front of the field with old tires or only new right sides. We'll see how that's going to be affecting the handling on these trucks at the front of the field. Can they hold them off? I have no doubt that guys like Nick Lucci and Hunter Gio can handle these trucks on right sides only, but is it going to be fast enough to stay ahead of those guys with 4 tires? We're going to have probably 10, 11 laps to go when we take the green flag once again. Not to mention there's still 3 trucks ahead of these guys that stayed out. Ellis Thomas, Matt Kerkhoff, Jared Saroff. Remember, Jared was involved in our caution prior to this. He made his pit stop at lap 63. We didn't go very far, so I kind of see why he didn't want to pit. Granted, he's probably got some damage to be concerned with. Let's try to get a look at that machine and see how it looks. Left side looks good, but you can see the right front, the nose of that truck, caved in a bit. Don't know about the right side completely. Try to get a look at it as he goes through the corner here. Yeah, right front damage. But it's not horrible. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be as fast as it once was. Kerkhoff's going to be quick up there. Ellis Thomas He's going to restart with the race lead. But again, those guys, older tires for sure. But then Nick Lucci, Hunter Gio, the two dominant trucks here tonight, only took rights. Everybody behind them on 4 fresh tires. Once again, everybody, if you haven't already done so, go into the description of tonight's video. Find the link for the Goon Squad Fans Choice Award. Fill out the information there. Pick your favorite driver. Driver with the most votes at the end of the season will get a prize. Nick Saroff says, well, Jared made his bed. See how well he does. I mean, Nick, honestly, I think he's doing a pretty good job filling in this week. If he comes out of here with a top 10, I'd say solid strategy play here late in this race. Some fast guys with fresh tires behind them, but they're not all that newer than top 3 drivers right now. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited. Of course, it could go to hell in a handbasket in a hurry, but we'll see. We 10 laps to go and we get back to the stripe. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to take the green here this time by. And pace car is in. Ellis Thomas in the number 8 machine is going to lead them back to the green flag. Karakoff to the outside.
Green.
Green flag is in the air. Good jump by the 8. And Lucci gets to the inside of Karakoff. Just down to the dog leg, into turn 1. Lucci up to the 2nd spot, just like that. Again, fresh right sides only on the number 96 truck. Out of turn number 2, way up the racetrack. It's going to build a bit of a run here down into turn 3. Not close enough to do anything with Thomas right now. Meanwhile, Hunter Gio has slipped back to P7 and further. He's got a problem. Hunter Gio in trouble. Hunter Gio coming to pit lane. I don't know if he has a penalty to serve. Well, if he's got a different problem, but Hunter Gio, the dominant truck here tonight, likely out of this one, at least out of contention for the win. Nick Lucci, in the meantime, fighting for that top spot, and he takes it away from Ellis Thomas. Now a battle for the 2nd position. Justin Wilson goes around the outside. Wilson's got 4 fresh tires underneath him. He's going to have the pace here, and he's challenging heavy here on Nick Lucci at start-finish. 8 laps to go, looks to the inside. And just like that, Wilson takes the top spot, or does he? Lucci battles back on the outside. Lucci way up the racetrack, just inches off the outside wall. It's a drag race into turn number 3. Lucci was the bridesmaid last week. He wants to wear white this week. Don't know if it's going to happen, but he's not given up yet. Lucci door banging with the 58 of Wilson across the line. 7 to go. Wilson leads that lap. Lucci still not giving up. On board with the 58. They battle it out for the top spot. More contact. Side-by-side battle for the race lead and maybe the win here at Nashville Super Speedway. And more contact in the dogleg. Lucci pushes the 58 of Wilson down the track. Wilson retaliates, comes back up, takes a swipe. Through turns 1 and 2, side-by-side they remain. Great battle here at Nashville.
Caution.
And the caution comes out. Wilson has a nose in front. Wilson will be the leader as we go to the restart. This one's going to come down to the very bitter end. Scott Tompkins, it looks like, involved in this. Doesn't appear to be serious by any means. Let's get a look at it. Wiggle, wiggle. Let's back it up a little further. Let's see the whole story here. Going to watch the 25 truck down low. I think things start to come together here just ahead of him. 3 wide on exit of 2 here. Tompkins comes up, probably distracted by the 3 wide up ahead. He gets into the left side of the 94 machine, and it just upsets the truck. And Barry's bad luck continues as he gets collected in this as well. Barry has made up a couple of spots, though. He's listed as 34th instead of 36th. Remember, he spawned on that very first set of corners. So, Justin Wilson now leading his first laps of the day here late at Nashville. Took the gamble with 4 fresh tires on the previous caution, whereas the leaders Hunter Gio and Nick Lucci at the time went with rights only. Lucci was doing a great job hanging on there to the outside on rights only. Something happened to Hunter Gio. We're not sure if it was a penalty that has caused his trip to pit lane or a different issue. It's like Hunter is back in pit lane again here. Don't really see any damage to speak of on it. Gio now shown as the 25th place machine. I might be showing my age here, but the paint scheme on that Crown Royal number 58, yeah, we see the white and purple, but if you look closely, those little gold and red stripes there reminds me of a pack of Winstons. Meanwhile, I want to follow up on Jared Saraf. He has free fallen back to the 17th place after that restart. Now, with that said, he's still 17 positions to the good because he started 34th here today. So far, so good. And if things go well here, he's still looking at the top 20. Expecting the one to go signal as they cross the line here. And I think this is actually going to push us into our first green-white checkered attempt. So this is going to do it, folks. If the yellow comes out, this one's over. So we only do one attempt here in the Spark Truck Series. Try to get this thing done under green flag conditions. We'll see. But it's a shootout. As Chad Canales would say, it's going to be a dogfight. Problem is, there's 34 other dogs behind you. Here we go, folks. Pace car is in. Final restart of tonight's race. Wilson, Lucci at the front of the field. Who's going to blink?
Green flag.
Wilson fires. Great jump by the 58. The 91, Arai Jones, follows him behind. Lucci's got work to do and only 2 laps to do it. Wilson with the lead cleanly out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Rye Jones is there. Lucci's pushing the issue, though, alongside the 91 of Jones. This is eye candy for the 58 of Justin Wilson, watching those two battle behind him. Out of turn number 4, into the dogleg. White flag, final lap from Nashville. Ryan Jones drives it really deep into turns 1 and 2, still side by side with Nick Lucci. Lucci's not done, has a run out of turn number 2. Wilson closes the door. Now he looks back to the inside, now back topside, trying to block both lanes. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. This is the battle for the win here at Nashville Super Speedway. Wilson jumps out, a truck length's advantage out of turn number 4. I think he's done it. He has. He's going to win here at Nashville. Justin Wilson takes it. Nick Lucci runs second, and Rye Jones comes home in the third spot. What a finish. What a run. Follow up on Hunter Gio. I guess he got a black flag on the restart. Not sure why. Justin Wilson out of Florida lights him up here at start finish. The precision. Four Tires won this race. He still had to work for it. Great finish. All right, we're going to step aside here, get a short break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Back at Nashville Super Speedway, and man, the Spark Truck Series has just put on a thriller. Justin Wilson taking the checkered flag on some tire strategy and then just raw grit and determination to hold off a hard-charging Nick Lucci. Let's get a word with our race winner, driver the number 58 machine. It's Justin Wilson. Steve in the broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Justin, congratulations, man. An amazing finish here. Some late race dramatics, some cautions, some tire strategy. Walk us through the thought process in coming down there, that late caution, bolting on 4 tires, the top 2 guys only taking 2.
I mean, that was the only chance I had. Those guys were fast, both him, Hunter, and Nick. I mean, class of the field. I was just a hair off of what they were running. So I knew 4 tires was going to be my game shot no matter what. I was pitting no matter what. Whether they pitted or not, I was pitting. I was committed to the 4-tire strategy, but I'm not sure what happened with Hunter. I know he had a pit for a black flag, but I knew when Nick got out to the lead, I said, nope, I have to send it in order to have any kind of shot with him because I know how quick they are. But it was an intense battle, but I'm glad it worked out for us.
Well, certainly an intense battle. Those 4 tires didn't hurt the cause, but you still had to work for it. Held those guys off. You got the lead there near the end. Then the caution comes out, and you got to hold them off for one final restart. You had a great restart. Really got the jump on Lucci. Rye Jones jumped into the mix. Almost got clear of Nick. Nick gets back around and then puts the challenge on, but it wasn't quite enough Do you think he was going to get you if we had a couple more laps, or do you think you had enough underneath you to hold him off?
Yeah, I was just trying to mind my own P's and Q's there once I got the jump there. Me and Ryan, we worked good together. We timed the jump together to really try to know if it, sorry, Nick, but to try to hold him up, kind of work together. But, I knew once they were side by side, I could kind of take it easy, just try not to make any mistakes. When I did see him get around Ryan, I just, hammered it back down.
With that said, this one in the books, you take the checkered flag. Next week, we switch things up a bit, and we go to Watkins Glen International. Going to go right and left on the road course out at the Glen. How do you handle these trucks out on a road course? You any good there?
Yeah, actually, I fare decent on road courses. I enjoy running road courses, so I expect to get a pretty decent finish. But there's a lot of fast guys in here, so we'll see.
Looking forward to it for sure. Justin, again, congratulations. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
Oh, man, I want to thank you guys for putting the show on. Spark for letting me run. It's kind of like my first full time running with them, even though I missed last week. But, the wife's birthday, you gotta take it off, you know what I mean? So, thank you guys. Thank my teammates. I had Ryan in there, Chase, who, it kind of embarrassed the team there on that first lap, but we won't talk about it. And then, Randy for race control, and, just everybody in the league, man. It's been fun, these 2 races I've done, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
It's been a great series to call. Certainly look forward to more. Justin, again, congratulations, and good luck next week at the Glen.
Hey, man. See you there.
Justin Wilson, your race winner here at Nashville Super Speedway. Once again, Nick Lucci puts it on pole position 2 weeks in a row, and then he finishes second 2 weeks in a row. Again, the average finish department doing well for the number 96 machine, but man, I'm sure he wants that checkered flag, and we got him here in the broadcast booth. Nick, it's Steve at HBR TV. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Nick, congratulations, man. I know it's not what you wanted, especially after last week. This one kind of started off the same with pole position, but ran behind Hunter Gio. Hunter had his own problems. And then these late race decisions as far as 2 tires versus 4. We got Justin's opinion on it. He was going to go with 4 no matter what anybody did. You and Hunter went with 2. What was the mindset there? Was it just trying to get around Hunter and he was trying to challenge the same way? Or what was the decision-making process like?
Yeah, for sure. In all honesty, I was probably going to just do right sides on that first green flag stop when me and Hunter were no more than a car and a half away from each other for 40 laps, which first off, I do want to say hats off to Hunter. Obviously, I know that's not the race that he wanted, but that was awesome racing. And then obviously my damage happened, which I'll be honest, I didn't think we were going to be able to stay up there. But in all honesty, as the runs kept going, we were able to stay with Hunter, if not a little bit better, a couple laps at a time. And I vividly remember saying with about 20 to go, I don't care if a yellow comes out with 3 to go, I'm taking 2 tires, and if they all wreck, then so be it. And then obviously that yellow came out, and I kind of had an argument with myself, and I just said, the only way we're going to win is with 2 tires. So 2 tires was a move, and I thought it was all over. And here came the 58 and the 91 to come spoil the party a little bit. But no, I mean, in all honesty, it was some awesome racing. I hope the broadcast was awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone that was watching enjoyed it. We're not going to do it 2 weeks in a row. We got to turn left and right next week.
Well, it certainly was entertaining to watch. It's been a pleasure to call these races the first few of the season. Watching that battle with you and Justin there prior to that final caution, that was just brilliance on both your guys' parts. Fun to watch. Unfortunately, again, you still come up 1 short, but again, second's not terrible. I guess it's better than 30th. But you're right. Next week we go left and right at the Glen. How do you fare in these vehicles on the road courses?
Well, I'd like to say that I know what I'm doing, but I guess we're gonna figure out on Wednesday night next week. So we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. It's a long race. Be almost an endurance style. I know it's obviously not the endurance length, but just being able to go the distance, kind of like we did tonight. It's gonna kind of come down to tire management, and strategy might play a factor like it did tonight.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Nick. Again, an awesome run. Good job on pole position and a runner-up finish here at Nashville. Who do you want to shout out to?
Obviously, I want to shout out to both Justin Wilson and Rye Jones, and obviously Hunter Gio. I can't lie, that's probably some of the most fun I've had on the sim in probably the last 2 years. obviously I can't lie. Me and the 58 door slammed essentially every lap for 10 laps straight. But, here we are in the broadcast waiting room. We're both, we're all laughing about it. So it's nice to race literally white-knuckled with some super awesome and fast guys and obviously be good buddies after the race is over. Obviously, shout out to Holler Boys Racing TV for obviously hosting and broadcasting this race. I hope that more people in the future will come and see how great of a league this is turning into with our awesome car count. Shout out to both my mom and dad. I said my mom this week, so special shout out to my mom. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Shout out to obviously F. Scott Motorsports, Evan Pienta, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, and James Danforth, who unfortunately got collected in a lap 1 wreck. Obviously not the night that he wanted, but hopefully he can rebound next week.
All right, Nick. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at the Glen.
Yeah, take care, guys.
It's Nick Lucci, your runner-up once again here, starting off the season with some consistency, but man, I'm sure he's still trying to get that checkered flag. He'd love to get it next week at the Glen. We'll see how that pans out. Last but not least, we're going to talk to our third place finisher, driver of the number 91 Chevy Silverado. It's Rye Jones. Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Rye, congratulations, man. A 7th place start, 3rd place finish. Can't shake a stick at that. Walk us through your race. How'd it go?
It was pretty slow to start. Definitely. First off, it's really hard for me because I fractured my left hand about a week ago. So I'm essentially driving with one hand. So it's pretty tough, especially at a place like this. The banking's low and there's not a whole lot of grip. So I was just trying to pace myself as much as I could, and I still kind of burned up the right front more than I wanted to that first run. And I was just I was doing what I could to hang on with my teammate Justin Wilson for most of the race, and he did a really good job of saving. So, coming down to the end, just kind of got a little lucky. Just restarting on the outside lane. You had the cars that stayed out. 2 of the 3 were on the bottom, and Nick Seraph got loose on the start, and it really messed up Hunter Gio's race, which I kind of feel bad for him. Him and Nick Lucci were the class of the field today. So, but it was a lot of fun to race up there with them. They're on the second to last restart when Justin and Nick were side by side the whole time. I was like, man, if they can just keep duking it out and this thing stays green, I might have a chance to go for the win. And then that last caution came out, so I calmed to Justin, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna push you. I'll push you as hard as I can, and then after that, if I can get you in front, then we'll race. And that ended up pretty much being what happened, and Lucci just did a great job sticking to the outside to get second off me, but overall had a lot of fun.
Certainly a fun one to watch. You've been in the mix for these things just about every week. It started off the season. We move into Watkins Glen next week, and with a fractured hand, I wonder, are you going to be able to make it next week? Are you going to have a substitute driver, or are you going to get it done?
I'm going to do what I can for sure. I'll definitely try. I'm probably going to have to let go of the H pattern and just probably use the paddle shifters. So I might be cheating a little bit, but that's all right. I'm looking forward to it. Texas had a really bad setback there just because of strategy, and it kind of bit me in the butt. So I was kind of disappointed in that. But to finish, top 3, 2 of the 3 races so far is nice. I don't think I can, win at Watkins Glen for sure, but I can definitely keep it clean. I love that track, and just hope for a good finish is all I ask for there. So looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. That's the great way to look at it. So are we. Certainly one of my most favorite places to attend and even call races at. Rye, congratulations on a 3rd place finish here at Nashville. Who do you have to thank?
Oh, I got to thank you, man, for putting on a good show. Can't wait to watch the replay, and got to thank the league owners for putting this all together. Thank my teammates at Payday. Congrats to Justin for the win, and felt bad for Chase Berry there, wrecking there at the beginning, and just had a lot of fun. So looking forward to the next race.
All right, Rye. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
All right, thank you, sir.
Rye Jones, your 3rd place finisher here at Nashville. That's going to wrap up the interview portion of our broadcast. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Justin Wilson, Nick Lucci, and Rye Jones already. Moving on down the line, Chris Smith up in the mix all night long, finishes solidly in the top 5 in P4. Charles Wembley, that 3-car, made his way up into the top 5, finishes 5th. 6th place goes to Brandon Ayers. Johnny Rapp was 7th, Pat Colby 8th. Ellis Thomas finishes in the 9th spot. Steve Loving was 10th. Matthew Karakoff was 11th. Dylan LeBeau 12th. Robert Brobst in the 5. He finished in the 13th position. 14th place finisher was Jay Heisman. 15th, Brian Brobst. Abram Ghostin was 16th. Robert Lydell was 17th. Jake Mackey was 18th. Scott Tompkins finished in the 19th spot. 20th went to Wes Pistol. Hunter Gio, after that late race black flag, finishes out 21st. Still gets the most laps led. 22nd is William Cameron. 23rd was Peter Stewart. Jared Serra finished out, filling in for brother Nick in the 24th position. Hey, he started 34th and he moved forward. You can't be upset about that. A solid run for the 67. He is a rookie, folks. He's just going to get better. Steve Vest, 25th. 26th was Paul Thomas. Larry Poling was 27th. 28th went to Chris French. 29th, Clay Sampson. 30th, Dade Grajewski. 31st, Devin Jack. Shane Kocher, 32nd. 33rd was Chase Berry after starting outside pole. 34th, Shane Trotter. 35th, James Danforth. And last but not least in our hearts, the 36th place finisher of Nathan Gentry. It's going to do it for us here at HBR TV. What a race, what a finish. Certainly a thrilling one, a little more chaotic, a little more cautions, but sometimes that creates these types of situations that we love to see on race day. Fun to watch for sure. Congratulations to Justin Wilson taking the checkered flag. Again, tune in next week for our broadcast coverage of the Glen here in the Spark Truck Series. Looking forward to that. The only road course on the schedule this season, but man, it's going to be a fun one. Call it the Super Speedway of road courses. Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, if you haven't already done so, like this stream, click that thumbs up, turn on the notifications, even subscribe. That helps even more. Tell your friends, all the good stuff. It helps us here at the channel and helps out the league, get some fresh eyeballs on things, maybe some more viewers, maybe some more racers. You never know. With that, again, congratulations to Justin Wilson, and thank you guys all for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.